Hi, it's Sarina and I'm here today to share with you a package I have received in the mail. Look at this beautiful box from Celia, all the way from France. Made by hand with love. Beautiful. So this appears to be the deck of cards, and this looks like the guidebook. And then she has in her box information, well, a link to her website where she teaches tarot. And here is her business card. Beautiful. The lotus actually looks a bit like a shell with the water moving up. That's really lovely. So you can see her website, Celia's website. And I'm not sure what city she's from in France. And here is a bookmark advertising her tarot. One side for the lily white and one for the lily black. So I believe I ordered lily white. And so let's go ahead and open the box. So this is a lovely, very simple recycled paper. This came really quickly, I'm surprised. And I did not have to pay customs fees, which was an added bonus. So lovely gilding on the box. I have not watched a walkthrough on this, so this is going to be a big surprise for me. Lovely font. It's embossed as well. The gilding is raised, so I can feel the raised gilding. And we have a little card tucked inside here. Oh, I guess so. If you don't order the guidebook, then included with it is a keyword little piece of paper. And so this comes in English and French. So we'll have a look at that in a bit. Let's look at the box. So this is the back of the box. Dare, find your way. The world is in you. The world is yours. And this box is 657 of 1,000, signed by Celia. Copyright 2018. This is really exciting. So this is one of the lift-off box, and it lifts off really easily, which is a bonus. And it has a beautiful a ribbon inside the box to lift out the cards. All right, so I'll put that to the side. Let's have a look at the card backs, and then we'll open the guidebook before we do a walkthrough. So very standard size tarot deck. Beautiful. And these cards would look lovely gilded in gold. So let's just place the Fool. I'm going to have to, there's the clouds, so I'm assuming the clouds are on the top. And then let's open the guidebook. I crossed wires with Celia through email, and she, in her message, said that, do you realize the guidebook only is in French? And I said, oh, okay, I will pass then, because my French isn't that great. But it got sent anyway, so I have a guidebook. So if any of my French-speaking friends didn't order the guidebook and would like it, or you'd like to look at it, I'm happy to share that with you. So this is the guidebook for the lily white and the lily black. This must be the image for the Two of Cups. And then on the back, the world is in you, the world is yours. Le monde est en toi, le monde est à toi. Ose, trouve ton chemin. Beautiful. So the guidebook is for both of the, oh, this is actually really lovely. And you can see, so if you didn't order both, like me, you can see what the lily black looks like beside the lily white. And because my French isn't great, I'm not going to read aloud anything from here, but actually I'm glad I ordered this. This gives me a chance to do some reading in French. Hi, it's Serena. I'm back. I'm sorry I had to pause the recording last night, but fortunately I was able to take the Lili Tarot Guidebook to bed and have a closer glance at it. Unfortunately I fell asleep, but I thought I would just point out some of the benefits of ordering the guidebook, even if your French is minimal. It's a remarkable guidebook. The binding is really nice. As you can see, I can have it, it's just sitting open on its own here on the table. So the seam is really nice. This is the page that describes the characteristics of the suits. So we have pentacles, solidity, foundation, resistance. She describes she has listed here the keywords: an animal association. So the animal for pentacles is the serpent or the snake. The zodiac symbols, seasons. So the season for pentacles is autumn. Personality characteristics. For swords, we're looking at the suit of air, of course. And the general description is mobility and connection, which I thought is really interesting. Keywords are quite typical as expected. The animal association is the eagle. The season is winter. And for cups, we have, of course, water. The animal association is fish. And then for the bâton, for the rods, we have fire and energy, passion, activity, projects. Very, as expected, the keywords here, the animal association is the fox. So I'm kind of curious how the animals will, how they will appear in the cards, and which cards they will and will not appear. And so I'll keep an eye on that if I remember. And then addressing the court cards, this is fascinating. So there was obviously a great deal of time. Miss Melville spent quite a bit of time deciding how she was going to represent the court cards. So instead of the typical page, le cavalier, the knight, la reine, and le roi, the queen and the king, she took some time to contemplate the personalities, and you will see that there is a child for the page, a body for the adolescent, and faces of a woman and for the queen, and a man for the king. And then a little further down, she says that the child is of the heart, the adolescent is the solar plexus, and the queen and the king are a level higher on the front, so representing, I'm guessing, the higher chakras, which makes perfect sense. And then there's a description here of the child, the adolescent, and the king and the queen. The child is asexual and communicates with the heart. There's no social or cultural barriers. And sorry, I'm not going to translate all that for you. As I said, my French is quite mediocre. The adolescent is, now why did she choose the body? Because the adolescent is in transition. His body is changing. And there's a notion of speed associated with the adolescent. He's searching for his place in the world. You'll also notice that the animal is represented more clearly on this card. He's in a stage of needing to understand his body, his desires, and his passions. So having the animal and just the physical body out front really kind of speaks to her association with the adolescent as at the stage of the solar plexus. And then the king and the queen represent the polarity of the masculine and the feminine. They have an understanding of their element and a discipline in their experience. So lots of information in the guidebook if you do read French, or like I said, if you can take your time to kind of work through the French. There's a section on numerology, drawing the cards, how to formulate a good question. And then she has some spreads here, a 3-card, a 5-card. The Tree of the Fool. So this is a Fool spread. And then a Lotus spread. And then she has a 9-card. And I always like to have a look and see the order that people lay their cards for their 9. This is pretty much how I do it. So there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9. Sometimes people lay the 6, 7, 8, 9 in a clockwise direction, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is 6, 7, 8, 9. Position 6, 7, 8, 9 represent the light. 2, 3, and 5 zones of oppression. And number 1 is the question. Okay. And then for each major, you have a detailed description. And also there's a section for each one called Son côté sombre. So this is looking at the shadow side. She's got a comment for the shadow of each card. The other thing that I noticed by having the guidebook and only having one set of cards is that you can more clearly see different aspects of the card. You can see, I don't quite know how to say it, but if you are not able to understand an image in the lily white and you look to the lily black, you may be able to better understand the lily white through the lily black, or vice versa. And if you have the lily black and not the lily white, for example, and you were looking at the magician and you weren't clear about what the hands were doing and you had the guidebook, you could look to the guidebook to find further clarification. In some of the cards, it is definitely easier to interpret from one deck than another. So without further ado, let's go through the cards. Oh, and I'll just show you the back of the book. I think I've already showed you that. And then in the last page, she has credits, thank yous, her bibliography, and to follow her, here's her YouTube channel, her email, and other publications. So she does have an oracle deck called the Oracle of Reflections, which I believe is sold out. And there is a Lenormand deck, which is still available through her website. I actually looked that up. It's quite expensive. I should have ordered it at the same time as the tarot. Oh, and she has worked in collaboration on other decks as well too. So quite an accomplished deck creator. Okay, so I'll just pull out the majors. As I said, these are matte cards. Maybe I didn't say that. Okay, so we'll go through all of the cards, and I will keep my chit chat to a minimum so we can go through the deck quite quickly. As I said, these are initial impressions and comments on the deck. So that's interesting that she has a spread for this based on, I guess, the energy of the Fool card. And then we have the Magician. And the symbols for the different suits are tattooed on the fingers. of the right hand, perhaps. Maybe they're on the left hand as well, too. Beautiful energy on that card. The High Priestess offering the pomegranate. I like the balance, the colors, different colors, right and left. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so she has done the colors from the perspective of the person looking at the card, not from the perspective of the High Priestess. So she's got the fiery color on our right side, the intuitive color on our left side. You see that? Not from the High Priestess's perspective. The Empress. Empress. Which oracle deck does this remind you of? There's an oracle deck with where there's a lot of headdress. The Emperor. And that's nice that they're facing each other. So in readings, if they both come up together, they will be back to back or looking at each other. The Hierophant. Looks like a female hand. Lovers. That reminds me of the Two of Cups, the Two of Water in the Osho Zen Tarot. It's called Friendliness. How the trees grow together and support each other, showing their connection. The Chariot. Number 8 is Justice. The Truth. And the elements are all represented up here. The Hermit. There's a woman sitting inside a tree here. And this, to me, this looks like a womb. Her reflection in the womb of the tree. The Wheel, this is gorgeous. The sun above, the moon cycles below. All the seasons represented. And then we have the web connecting everything all together. That's gorgeous. Strength, number 11. The Hanged Man. Oh, his neck looks really uncomfortable. And he has the snake, a serpent, entwined around him. And perhaps that's why he's raised his head in communication with this serpent, who is rising from his feet up towards his head. Okay, so lots of potential metaphors to work with in these cards. Lovely Death card. Beautiful watercolors. And Temperance. It looks like a dance. The dance of alchemy, the dance of balance, the dance of life. Beautiful balance between the fiery colors and the watery colors. Evenly represented. It's a really peaceful card. And then the Devil. So from the guidebook, you can see the picture a little differently in the dark. A lily black and a lily white. And there are some other meanings as well too here. Oh look, can you see I was edging cards last night. Still didn't get that off. This is going to be worth a good read because a careful read. She has mention here of some lighter meanings of the Devil card. And also references to creative forces and to art. So not just a negative meaning for this card. So as I said, I look forward to exploring the guidebook more. And then we have the Tower, Destruction. That's very powerful. The Star. The Moon. The reflection of in the water. You can see the cycles of the moon. And we have different phases of the moon in the water than, sorry, there's a different phase of the moon in the reflection than there is in reality, which is a reminder, of course, with the moon card that things do appear different in the dark. Beautiful sun card. Wow. And then we have Judgment, or the card of transformation, renewal, and the World. What a gorgeous World card. We have the symbol for the heart chakra here, the six-sided hexagram, the infinity symbol. There's a hand, I think 2 hands down here holding everything. We see the roots of the tree. We see the fish in the water. Everything has come together. Wow, that's beautiful. Okay, so I've separated these into piles, and I will start, sorry, I can't remember which pile was first. I'm going to just start with swords. Move that out of the way. So the animal for this suit was eagle. And just glancing at these cards, it appears that many of them have, I think it's meant to be incense. And for me, incense is always represented ether rather than air. So let me know what you think about that, your interpretation here. Anyway, beautiful Ace of Swords with the eagle represented there. 2, 3, it looks like there's going to be the same number of swords and the same number of incense on each card. So swords and the incense. Which for me also has a spiritual representation as well too. 5. The swords look like crosses here. And then there is a reflection of each of the swords. 6. The path to the new, to the unknown. 8. Ooh, wow, 9. It's a beautiful drawing of the eagle. And then for the 10, we have the skull of the eagle. One of the swords is bent, damaged here, unable to pierce the crown chakra. And then we have our first page. Oh, and she has the, so the heart is above the sword. So the heart of the swords. And then the knight is there's a sun above the sword. So the solar plexus represented here. And then we see the air sign. and the eagle on the shoulders of the adolescent, the emerging adolescent. And then we have a, looks like an eagle headdress on the queen. And then the king. So you should, so I also noticed there, so there's 4 pieces of incense for the king, 3 for the queen, 2 for the adolescent, and 1 for the child. Great, so that is the swords. And then we have the cups. So the animal for the cups was fish. We have this gorgeous fountains coming out of the cup. 2, that was the image on the front of the guidebook. 3. I like these colors. These are happy colors for me. I like that 2 of the cups are a reflection and they're not actually there. That's really interesting. Clever. So many clever things in this deck that I'm really looking forward to working with. 5 of cups. So 3 of them are actually destroyed. And 2 are more than half full. 6 of cups. I like the nesting bowls, the nesting cups, and there's something growing inside the center cup. It's a very happy card. 7. Quite similar to the 6 of swords. Very warm card. The 9 of cups. I like that she made that warm. And the 10, so the abundance shown here, many fish swimming underneath and the water flowing abundantly out of all of those. And then we have the heart of the heart of the cup suit, the heart of the water. And she does have the fish in her in the symbol for water. And the adolescent, so it looked like it's like an adolescent female this time. The fish wrapped around her body and holding the symbol for the cup at her solar plexus. The queen. And the king. His face is quite hidden. And then the final suit. And then we have the bâton, the rods. Two. This is beautiful. Can you see the staircase emerging? Looks like a staircase, mountains in the background, all kinds of opportunities. So a time to decide which way one is going. And then we see the fox. I just noticed the cards all have her her name on the right bottom corner. Ooh, this is fun. So the 4 wands, 4 swords are connected. Again, we have a web, like we did in the wheel. And the foxes look a bit like otters here, playfully. It could be almost like a trampoline. It's a fun card for the celebration card. Ooh, this fox looks very burdened. And we have the laurel wreath. 6. Lots of potential showing here. There's lots of flames. It almost looks as if there's more than 6 rods. 7. That's a very strong torch. A clear sense of protection. Oh, and then we have a lightning bolt in the 8. The fox leaping ahead. And then the 9. And the 10. So it'll become a bit much. So rather than carrying the rods, he's created a wall of protection. A real sense of fear in that card. And then we have the heart of, well, these are nice. The heart of the fire suit, the child. And these ones all have candles on them as well. And then she's also holding on to some sticks, to some rods. And then we have the adolescent of fire. We have the candles, the fox, and I can't really say which body parts are here. I see a fingernail. I'm not sure what this is. Oh, there's a hand here. Let me know if you're able to decipher that. And then of course we have the element signed for fire. The Queen of Fire with 3 candles. Just revealing her eye and her twig crown. And then the King. And it is nice that they're not all front facing. And he has 4 candles underneath him. All right, and then the last suit, the suit of Pentacles. Ace. Two. So the pentacles have different symbols on them. That's very graceful. And there's a lot of movement here as well too, with the use of her line art. Beautiful. 3 of Pentacles. And we have a tool here, a mallet at the foundation. 4. There we have that serpent again. That was in the Hanged Man, holding tightly to his 4 pentacles. The 5. It's a bit of a mountain here. So definitely a cold winter image. The shoots, the sprouts are covered in snow. Contrast of seasons. And we have the scales on the hand. There may be a turtle on the finger there. It's a lovely 7. I like that this top one is well, a bit like a dandelion, but showing the evolution of the flower. And these pentacles, they look like kites. This is beautiful. I love this card. Ooh, 8. As I said, lots of metaphors, lots of potential to work with in each of these, in each of the suits, in each of the cards. 10. That's a great 10 of Pentacles. And then we have the Heart of Pentacles. The solar plexus of Pentacles. So the serpent hasn't been represented in many of the cards for the Earth. We see it here in the Knight. Sorry, I'll just show you the King and the Queen, and then I'll look to see where the serpent appears. So some of the suits have the animal represented more obviously. Like the fox was definitely there. Maybe I'm not seeing something. There's the serpent. Yeah, as far as I can see, those are the only 2 cards in the suit of Pentacles that have the serpent in the card, unless the serpent is, you know, hidden in the branches. And I'm just checking in the book that was the animal. Yeah, that is the animal. So the snake is the animal for the Pentacles. So not the use of the animal, not as not equally predominant in each suit. So this is quite a thick deck. It is it's a lovely matte finish. It's very smooth. I think that I will be able to riffle shuffle this. And I've just pulled a few decks that I've got handy here. Here's the Llewellyn Tarot, and you can see that it is more standard tarot size, so a little thinner. It's a little longer than the Llewellyn. The deck that I just opened the other day is the Sawyers. It's exactly the same size as the Sawyers. And I also want to show you the thickness of the deck. So these 3 decks I have here are all quite thick. This is the Llewellyn, which I edged in antique paper maybe. Here is the Lily White. So about the same thickness of the Llewellyn as the Llewellyn, if you have the Llewellyn. And then here is the Sawyers Tarot that I unboxed yesterday or the day before. And it's a little thicker than that. So it's going to be quite a handful of cards. And let's just do a 3-card draw for the new moon. Something about the backs of these decks reminds me of the Moonchild. And so for the final moon cycle of 2018, we have the Emperor, the 2 of Swords, and the 6 of Cups. Notice how if we're looking at past, present, future, or if we're looking at this as a storyboard, the Emperor is looking away. He's looking to the past. He's not looking to the decision. He's not looking to the indecision. It has already been made. You have done the work already this year. And so you have the strength. So gather in collect all of the successes, then acknowledge all of the successes that you have made this year. And with all of that strength and with all of that accumulated, with all of the steps you have accumulated, step forward for the next 3 weeks so you can move forward to completion. Decisions will always be lurking. There will always be choices to make. There is always room for revision. And there is nothing wrong with indecision, with revision. Things are always going to be presented to us. And so know that you have the strength. Know that you have the experience. Know that you have the will, the determination, the focus, the steadiness of the Emperor to make those decisions. You have the wisdom, not just the intelligence. And then we have the Six of Cups. And what a beautiful card to have around for the Christmas season, the holiday season, whatever it is that you celebrate this time of year. Raise a glass, gather with your friends, your family, share memories, enjoy the memories. And if you can't be together in your heart. Be with the emotion of the Six of Cups and allow that motion to nourish your heart. If this is a challenging time of year for you, which it is for a lot of people, find one memory that fills you. Find one memory that makes your heart sparkle and shine and feel like a kid again. And allow that feeling to grow. You know, like, oh, it sounds so cliche, but in the Grinch movie, in the Grinch story, when he actually allows that light to shine and it grows and it grows and it grows. If this season is challenging for you, then find that spark and stay with that spark, because you have the strength of the Emperor. You have the strength to make it through this season. So go in peace, go in love, go in friendship, and stay well. And I'll see you soon. Namaste.